hard it is to raise a kid while they listen to NBA YoungBoy, bro. They not looking at me. They looking at NBA YoungBoy. NBA YoungBoy
He's
is
the cool one.
he's the cool one.
Yeah.
NBA YoungBoy. These artists is Little Baby. They cool. They not my dad. My dad ain't cool.
My dad old and washed. He's old and
Yeah,
washed
so
up.
I'm not gonna listen to my dad.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying. It's complicated when you going up against the Kodak Blacks. You're going up against the NBA YoungBoy.
I mean, shit. Not only the music, you going up against his homeboys in the streets that's selling dope and got money in his pocket.
Because you could be a good parent,
Yeah,
right? You could be you could be
yeah.
the greatest parent on this earth, right? And you're sending your child to school, but you're sending your child to school with Pookie's son.
Yeah.
And Pookie's son see everything.
With no pretenders, they all got hidden agendas. I remember what happened back in December. I was wrestling for the gun with them bums that tried to kill me. I gave y'all prophecy on my first joint, then y'all all lamed out. Then really
Hey, yo, what's up, man? It's your boy, Lando XL, Mr. 18 Pockets.
And what's up? It's your boy, Mr. McGee, a.k.a. Boopy, a.k.a. Born Rich, baby.
You know I'm so mad at you on your intro because what happened to Mr. Kiss Fupa?
Oh, man, you know when I was out on my hiatus, a lot of Fupas was kissed. A lot of Fupas was kissed. But we'll get into that. That's another story for another day. We'll do that at Born Rich Club after dark.
Sounds spicy.
Yeah.
That sounds spicy.
Yeah. But
How you been? No. See, that's how he always try to start the show.
Okay.
He's a bullying starting the show, man.
Okay.
People behind the scenes always say, Boopy, let Lano ask you sometimes how you doing. So how you doing today, Boopy?
I'm blessed, brother. I can't complain, man. I can't complain.
Okay.
I think I spoke about it before. Started a new journey, trucker. You know what I mean? Trucker. Trucker. I done been flashed and everything on the highway. Yeah.
What about the lizard? So is that real?
The lot lizards.
Parking lot lizards?
All right, we ain't gonna stay here long. We're not gonna stay here long. But I do have one thing to say about lot lizards.
What?
So I've been doing trucking for about 7-8 months now. I've only seen one lot lizard in Memphis, Tennessee at the truck stop.
Shout out to Memphis.
Shout out to M-Town. But that lot lizard, to me, that shit is a myth.
Okay.
I
I got to
haven't
give
seen
some
it.
more shout outs too. Shouts out to McKinley and Elijah. They are interns for the Born Rich Club podcast today. And these are amazing teenagers.
Absolutely.
And they just trying to get their feet wet into podcasting or just entertainment period, right?
Yeah,
So we just
absolutely.
putting them around, showing them how things work, the glitz, the glam, the cameras. Because I know how I felt when I was a little kid and I seen people shooting videos, right?
Yeah,
Music videos.
Yeah.
Like
it was exciting.
Hell
it was
yeah.
exciting.
Because I only saw stuff on
Yeah.
TV.
Hey, can you imagine? Can you remember the first time you went to like a recording studio? That was
yeah.
I was amazed.
Yeah.
was
When I went to
amazed.
Slippin', the first real studio I ever, like serious studio I went to when y'all guys when we was in Miami, y'all guys took me into the official headquarters of Slip and Slide Records.
Yeah.
And that's where Trick Daddy, Plies, Trina, all those was huge. Rick Ross, all of those people was huge at those moments. And I won't never forget, y'all took me in there. And as soon as I walked in, I embraced it all. Like, I tried to embrace it all. I was just looking around. They like, man, I met Plies right here. He was sitting right here. I
It was
started looking.
overwhelming.
Yeah, it was overwhelming.
Gold plaques on the wall, platinum plaques on the wall, and I'm like,
I fucking took a Rick
Yeah.
Ross signed poster home. Like, I was like, nope,
absolutely.
I'm taking this with me.
It made me get in there. I mean, I got in that booth. Your hip, hop, the hippie to the hippie. I was ripping it.
No, you wasn't, bro. I don't know why you think you was. What? No, you was not.
The bang bang boogity bee.
That's you know what? That's crazy that hip hop started from like that, and now it's mumble rap. Like at first it was the slow rap. Like it's the hip hop, and telling y'all it just don't stop. Now it's
Now it's hands on your knees.
Oh no.
Like
I'm not gonna say the music is horrible, right? I'm not gonna get into the this is a good topic though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the music is horrible. I think it's more music now than it was at first, right? Because even if your music was horrible back then, it was so hard to get in the game where chingy, like we say, chingy, chain hang low, right?
Yeah.
think of that song now.
Yeah.
And you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, would that song that's like a ticky-tock song to me right now, right? It's not I'm gonna play. They're gonna play that on the radio over and over and over again. Yeah. But back that's our age, right? Back then, they did play that type of music.
That's what was on that. And that's what was on.
And believe it or not, that type of music was still hard to push to the forefront because we didn't have music like that. Like now, I can go to sleep right now, right?
Yeah.
And I can wake up and my next door neighbor rapping. You know what I'm saying? It's so much.
Yeah. You can
it's so
record
much
on your phone now and put it on SoundCloud.
Do you even listen to whole albums?
I do.
No, is that because of your job?
Mainly it is. But if it's an artist I like, then I'm gonna listen to the whole album. Now, of course, it's singles that I'll just go and say, okay, let me listen to the single. But whole albums, I'll give you an example. Shout out to Don Tripp, right?
Okay. You always talk about Don Tripp.
Yeah, because last year he put out an album every month,
which is very hard.
And I listen to all of them. Now, like you said, of course, some of it is because I'm in the truck. I'm in the truck for I'm driving for 10, 11 hours a day. So I really ain't got no choice but to put it in and let it ride. But I like Don Tripp, so I was going to listen to it all regardless.
Should everybody put an album out? Because what you just said is an internet, like a huge star, right?
Yeah.
They put out 12 albums. That's a lot of albums for one. Shout out Don Tripp for that. That is very unheard of in the hip hop game.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I think the only person when I was like listening to music heavily like that was DMX, the only person that put out two albums,
big boy albums,
two big boy albums in a year.
In a year, absolutely.
So having 12 is a fucking accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go lower. If I am an artist not on Don Tripp's level, do I put out 12 albums?
If that's what you like to do,
no.
Yeah, but I say you should. Man, we're in a
weird
hip
hop stage.
Yes, we're in an era where the attention span is short. So people just want that song. Get you a song. I would say that. Like if I was still rapping, I would just try to find me a good single, and then if that single gets a good reception, then it's time to put the album out. And it's kind of how it worked when we was growing up.
Most definitely that's how it happened. Yeah.
It's like, all right, work your single. Okay, you got the single. Let's use, I don't know, Joe Budden. Joe Budden had Pump It Up. All right, go out, work, pump it up. Let's see how the people gravitate to it. Oh, the people really like this song? Mm-hmm. Now you got to go and do the album. Because now while the song is hot, now
it's anticipation, right?
Yeah, now we got to put the album out now. I think that still kind of works, though. That's just me, though.
I think it only works with that song catching on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it, because nowadays what we're doing is a lot of artists don't know their worth, right?
Yeah.
A lot of artists, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok has kind of fucked up hip hop. Because now what we're doing, you didn't get to see the everyday life of a rapper.
That's a fact.
When you was growing up.
The anonymity was part of it. I don't know what he's doing in his day-to-day life.
I only know when he's about to drop, because you go get the hip hop Bibles, which was The Source, Vibe, and stuff like that, XXL, and you'll see, Cameron about to drop.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear on the radio Cameron's single. Even if that single they put out don't go, you'll hear another one.
Yeah.
And then maybe if that catch on, then okay. Let's put the album out. I think now what we get confused with now is a lot of artists don't know their worth. A lot of artists every day, because they say you got to talk to the DJs, you got to talk to the club promoters, you got to go and perform your songs to get your recognition. I disagree with that. I think sometimes I feel like go get a studio, work on your craft, put singles out, like you said, right?
Yeah.
So it catch on and catch fire. I don't think you're supposed to be in a club every night. I don't think you're supposed to be seen. That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah. Like if you're trying to work your music and you're trying to work your album, because let's believe that. I mean, let's just keep it real. You listening to Don Tripp do 12 albums, but how many local artists have you listened to their whole album?
Yeah, not
exactly.
Not a lot.
Exactly, right?
Not
and I try to tell other artists that it's not me shitting on you. It's me just telling you the hardcore facts of a listener's ear now. A listener ear now, if you don't have a name, we're not trying to hear 15 songs from you.
No. We want that single.
We only want that single, and you only got this many times to give me a single. Because once you give me a single and it's trash, the next single, it's like this, right? Take this back. 2, 3 companies, 4 companies, I'm going to say, right? I'm going to say Death Row. Just think of the Death Row emblem on the back of a CD cover.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Cash Money.
Yeah.
The Tank.
Yeah.
And the Baby, Bad Boy, right? Mm-hmm. So we just did 3 major companies, right?
4.
Okay, 4 major companies where we didn't even know half of the artists that Master P was putting out, but he had a Tank on it.
Yeah, so somebody stamped you.
But the music, we didn't even have to listen to your music to stamp you, because soon we opened it up and we saw Mr. Serve On. We said we buying Mr. Serve On next. Yeah, because Master P was putting out Mr. Serve On next, and we said we're gonna buy Mr. Serve On next. And the reason we said that we're gonna buy Mr. Serve On next is because of the stamp, right?
Absolutely,
the stamp. So when you building your brand, that's why we saying know your worth, right? Know your worth. Know that you don't have to be outside every day. Know that you don't have to be in the club every day.
No, we want that mystery. Remain like mysterious. But you know what I'm saying? Pop out when it's time to pop out, and then go sit your ass down. Because if you saturate yourself, which means you in the club every week, every week,
most
every
definitely.
week. I don't know why, but it's like you tend to lose a little bit of that oomph. You know
Everybody, even I feel like beautiful women do this. Men who have something going for themselves, they do this. A lot of I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, the home of the Predators and the Titans and stuff like that. And we usually didn't want to see a Titan player every week.
No,
especially when we lose.
Yeah.
If I lose, listen, man. When the Tennessee Titans lose a football game, and I'm in the club Sunday. And this guy's in the club with me Sunday, the first thing I'm going to say is, that's why we can't win. Because he right here, look at him. I'm instantly going to put that on the football player. The reason we lost is because he's in here having fun.
He all in the videos.
Of course, right? So that's the only thing that I like to say, because you got artists that's very mysterious, right? When Young Buck had his run and he was very in high demand, sometimes you never saw him.
Yeah.
Because you got to be busy. You got to be still trying to create your music. And you got to know your worth. You got to know that, I can't come outside every day to be seen. I got to sit in this house sometimes and work on my music, because I got to keep dropping music, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I say, like, we got to stop. A lot of artists, listen up. I feel like this. Stop dropping full albums. If you are a person that's grinding, that's on the grid, on the chilling circuit, that's trying to get that, trying to get that motion, that traction going, because you listening, you're telling me to buy, you're telling me to do 3 important things, right? You're telling me to buy your music, you're telling me to listen to your music, and you're telling me to listen to all of your music. That's too much for me.
Yeah,
that's too. Yeah. You're telling me to do too much. Now listen, I already don't want to pay for it, but I'm gonna pay for it. Right?
Yeah.
And when I do pay for it, I want to be able to pay for something good. Right? So when I listen to your music, I'm like, okay, work your record. Don't have someone listen to your music, your single that you put out today, and then when I wake up 3 days later, you got a new now you got a new single.
Yeah, no, you got to work it.
You got to work it. You got to work your song.
You got to put the footwork in, just like the older guys did it, just like the elders did it. And speaking of elders, right? Because me and you had this conversation. We had it a couple days ago, but I was wondering, did the elders drop the ball? And I mean,
what you mean?
So what I mean is, like,
my dad couldn't play basketball.
It's like, no, when I say drop the ball, I mean, like, did they let us down in a way, right? Like, it's a generation between granddaddy and us. You see what I'm saying? It's that middle generation. So if we saying granddaddy went out and he did all the work, he went and paid all the bills, had a farm, raised chickens and stuff on their farm, and then now you come to us and we don't really know how to do that. We don't have survival skills like granddaddy. So
Yeah,
I'm asking,
definitely.
did that generation above us drop the ball?
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely dropped the ball. And not just the generation after us, our generation also has dropped the ball.
To the younger
most definitely. Because it's now what goes on now is a bunch of what you should do instead of action, right? Because growing up now, and it's fast because of social media, right? So kids can look on social media and they can see jewelry, they can see cars, and they can see these things. And if they don't have the proper parents or the proper individuals around them, they'll think that this comes easy, or they'll think that they supposed to just get this at a snap of their fingers, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times the ball get dropped because we only talk about. We only want a lot of. I'm gonna say something, man, and I don't care how much I get criticized. A lot of these guys talk about these kids and saying they want to help these kids, but it's just content. It's just I'm gonna put a camera in my face. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna talk about how I can save the kids. But as soon as the camera's cut off, they back throwing up gang signs or back selling drugs in front of kids, or they back smoking weed in front of kids. They back doing everything that they saying that they not gonna do in front of the kids. So the ball do get dropped. And I'm gonna tell a story. I had my nephew, right? So my nephew was doing something super, super illegal. And this is a long time ago, y'all. So I'm from East Nashville. As y'all know, I love to say that. My nephew was doing something, and I remember stopping him, and I said, bro, what you doing? You doing this and doing that? And he looked at me and said, you doing it?
Yeah.
So I instantly stopped right there because I'm like, I'm trying to preach to this kid to not do this.
The same shit that you doing.
But the same shit that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And he sees it because a lot of times parents and guardians are people who are around kids. We tend to don't listen to the kids, or we tend to think that the kids are not looking or listening to us. So we think we're smart and we ain't, he ain't
a lot of preaching, and a lot of talking at the younger people. Just like the generation above us, like you said, they talked or spoke at me instead of speaking to me. You know what I mean? They didn't really care how I felt. And I find myself doing the same thing with my kids or younger kids. It's like, fuck what they talking about. This is the best way that they should do it. And sometimes you just got to sit back and realize, now, you know what, let me hear them out. Let's hear them out and see what they got going on and how can I be a benefit to them. But you got to find that balance, though, Lano, because, you know what I mean? Like, you was a kid once, and if you just let me do whatever, then I'll run over you. I'll get over on you. I'll finesse you if you let me. So
nobody showed me how to go get a job. They only said go get a job. Yeah. But they didn't take time out. And that's the same thing that's happening now. We're not even holding our kids accountable for the situations. We're not even showing them, yo, this is where you're messing up that. This is what I can do for you. We're only talking about it. We always had this conversation right here. Facts. Action speaks louder than words. Absolutely. I know that's something that you guys don't heard for your whole life.
That's a cliche.
It's cliche, but it's actually the truth, right? Because when you break it all the way down and you only telling your child, hey, don't be acting like this. Don't be acting like this in school. Next time you act like this in school, I'm gonna take your phone, right?
Yeah.
My mom used to do the same thing to me. But one time I looked up and said, hold on. Every time I get in trouble in school, my mama don't do nothing but just holler. She don't take nothing. She don't whoop me. She just holler. I want to keep getting in trouble.
Yeah.
She's not taking anything.
Take that fucking phone.
Yeah, man. She's not doing anything to me but hollering. And I time her. The most she'll holler is 30 minutes. I'm just saying. So now I'm saying, you know what? Hey, when my teacher say I'm going to call your mom, my shoulders go up. Yeah. Okay, because the worst going to happen is arguing for 30 minutes.
She's going to yell for 30 minutes, and then I'm back to doing my bullshit.
Right back to doing my BS. And that's what I mean by we have dropped the ball. Because for one, black men is not even black men period is not even in the household with their kids, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the women who are taking care of the kids, they trying to work 16, 17-hour shifts just to keep a roof over their head.
Let me ask you this, though. All right, cool. We spoke about the problem. Let's talk about solutions then, bro. What can our generation do to help the younger generation?
Just being responsible for one, saying, okay, I don't like JoJo outside on the corner. I'm finna pull up on JoJo.
Yeah.
So I finna talk to JoJo. Once I talk to JoJo, you kind of going to get an understanding of JoJo. JoJo's out here because he probably lived with his grandmama.
Yeah.
Yeah. His grandmama let him do whatever he want to do. So JoJo need to be put out of that environment. See, it's hard. So this is what I mean. Is only content to some of these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got to be real. You got to say, okay, JoJo. Okay, I mean, JoJo finna come in with me. See, people ain't ready to do that.
Yeah, people ain't ready to do that.
But I'm saying only in that it's a handful that is, or it's a handful to say, you know what, man, I'm gonna go buy this $5,000 van. I see 7 of them boys over there. They acting like they selling drugs. I'm finna pull up on them. Hey, man, I got transportation for y'all to go to work every day. I got a temp service down here that I already talked to this woman.
Yeah.
She gonna give all y'all right here jobs, man. I ain't got no car. Exactly. This van right here gonna pick y'all up every morning.
Every morning.
And I'm gonna pick y'all up and I'm gonna take y'all to work. See, now what you just did is, now you just created action.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't just pull up talking.
Yeah.
We created action. But now you're gonna see who really want it. Because Peanut probably say, man, I ain't doing that. Then the other 4 get in the van. I might still lose 2 because 2 might work for a week and say, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But 1 gonna say, okay, this is all I needed.
Yeah, it's reach one, teach one. And if you can grab one and save one, then shit, you did a great job.
But we're not doing that. Like I said, man, this generation most definitely have dropped the ball. I drop the ball at times with my nephews. Yes. Let me tell y'all something, man. My nephews, I love them to death. It's so much that I wish that I didn't do, and it was times that I was going back and forth with them. You know what I'm saying? So they can see me a year, they won't see me for 2-3 years. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of times that I dropped the ball, but most definitely I feel like I see guys that's my age that's doing the same thing that my nephew's doing. Now that's another thing. Let's have that conversation. My nephew's out here, and not my nephews, y'all. I'm just speaking in general. Like my nephews, my cousins, just other kids, right?
Yeah.
Kids are out here, and they are having money in their pocket. They want the jewelry,
facts,
and they want all this. But here come their uncle pulling up, doing everything they doing.
Yeah.
But he telling them to stop.
Yeah, it's the respect. It's a respect.
So
level,
they looking
man.
at him like, man, why would I stop and you 100,000 years old?
That's it.
I'm not about to stop.
It's role models, man. People just got to have right role models. And every time it ain't going to be your father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it ain't going to be your uncle, man. It might be your football coach.
Yeah.
You might see the shit that how your football coach move and say, man, I like the way he move. You never know where your role model is going to come from. But us as
NBA young boy.
Us as men, we have to be role models, man, and like you said, like, no, not just talking. We gotta show them.
Yeah, you gotta be in action.
Because like you say, if you just pull up and say, "Hey, man, stop selling drugs," and then it's like, what are you replacing that with?
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah. And
if you don't do it, they gonna be like, bro, stop selling drugs, bro. You just told me that, and why you telling me that while you pulling off in a car? I ain't got no car.
Yeah, exactly.
You telling me that when you can go get you something, I ain't got nothing to eat.
That's it. You ain't replacing.
You ain't replaced nothing.
You ain't replaced this pack. If I put this pack down, now what? I'm just out here broke as hell. Cause you ain't finna make sure I get no money.
Yeah.
But we gotta make sure that we showing them a better way, not just talking about it like my brother said. Make sure we getting out there, putting boots on the ground, and really about that action.
Which is difficult.
When it comes.
Which is difficult.
Cause you still have your own house, right? You still got your own house and your own household.
I think don't talk about it I just tell people this, man. Don't try to be an activist on these kids' youth if you not ready to go all the way about it. We can't keep talking about these kids and how we can help these kids and what these kids need, and then when the cameras go off, we go our own way and roll up. Like I'm just saying, because what ends up happening is we just using content. We're just trying to get likes and views and want people to be like, oh yeah, man, they speaking real. But when the cameras go off, I'm not even going nowhere near these kids. You see what I'm saying?
That's it. And I like what you said though, because first thing you got to do is clean up your own house.
Yeah, most definitely.
So clean up your house first before you even think about helping out the community. You got to have a solid foundation at your home. Then you can venture out of your home and start helping the community. That's what it's all about, bro.
Because let me tell y'all something before we go. I'm going to say this.
All right.
Do you know how hard it is to raise a kid while they listen to NBA Youngboy? Bro, they not looking at me. They looking at NBA Youngboy. NBA Youngboy is the cool one. He's the cool one. Yeah. NBA Youngboy, these artists is Little Baby. They cool. They not my dad. My dad ain't cool.
My dad old and washed. He's old and washed.
Yeah, so
up.
I'm not gonna listen to my dad. So that's what I'm saying. It's complicated when you going up against the Kodak Blacks. You're going up against the NBA Youngboy.
I mean, shit, not only the music, you going up against his homeboys in the streets that's selling dope and got money in his pocket.
Because you could be a good parent, right? You could be you could be the greatest parent on this earth, right? And you're sending your child to school, but you're sending your child to school with Pookie's son.
Yeah.
And Pookie's son see everything his dad do. And he takes that to school, and now he's making my son eyes like this, because now my son like, my dad ain't never showed me that.
Because kids are influential.
Yeah,
so,
most definitely.
So we got to, it's difficult, but I'm happy we had this conversation, though. Like, no,
hell yeah, because I dropped the ball. Listen, don't be afraid to say, a lot of men are going to be, I ain't dropped the ball. Listen, I have dropped the ball.
Facts.
I have dropped the ball numerous of times.
Facts.
Now I have my own child. And the only thing I think about now, I just be like, yo, I got 2 boys that I'm looking at every day that I try to make sure that I just inspire them, and I try to make sure that, yo, you can make great decisions and still be a great.
Facts. It's a work in progress, bro. Yeah, we all work. Well, like what they say, God ain't finished with me yet. You know what I'm saying? So,
God just texted me, told me, hold up, man, he got me.
So yeah, man, it's all a work in process. But man, good shit, Lano. Another one in the books. You feel me? Y'all make sure y'all get y'all ass over there to YouTube and subscribe to the Born Rich Club podcast, man. We doing this thing. We do this for you. Shout out to everybody who been supporting so far. We get real good support, and I thank y'all. Continue to support us. We appreciate the love, man. Speaking of love, if nobody told you today that they love you, let me be the first one to tell you that I love you, I love you, I love you.
Oh, and y'all already know what I'm going to say, man. This your boy Lano ACL. I'm going to say 2 things, man. Get money, stay true, get money. Peace.